Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last day of 365 Days Live with New. We are on day 90, and I know if you are tuning in for the first time, then you're like, yeah, it's day 90. It's not the day 365. But the quick backstory is that at the beginning of this year, I committed to doing Facebook Lives every single day for this whole year of 2025 because I took a break from my business all of last year. And so I wanted to come back in and start sharing my voice, start building community and getting comfortable, coming back online, talking, and really coming back to find myself, find my voice, find what I cared about, what I love to talk about, and also have that practice of showing up every day and committing to that. And I have been doing it very successfully. I'm just actually very proud of myself for having gone this far, as I have been sharing the last couple of days, that I'm just so proud that I have gone this far, because it has always been so hard for me to do something every single day, especially when I feel like obligated to do it. So that's why it was also hard for me to start it in the first place. But as time progressed and the days progressed, I realized, just a week or two ago, that these lives were not making me feel the same way that they did at the beginning. And so there's an evolution, right? An evolution and growth of me in this process, which is great, right? Which shows that me showing up for these lives definitely has shifted my identity and created more confidence within myself to the point where I no longer feel like, hey, like I need to show up online every single day to practice or to be in that mode anymore. So that is why I feel, oh no, it's a slow connection. I hope you can still see me okay. So I have grown, I have evolved, I have changed in the way I feel, in the way how I want to show up in my business, in my passion project. And so it's just coming full circle to accepting myself and accepting my decision to no longer show up every single day just to do a live. I do want to reiterate that I will still, show up online. I will still create content. I will still share my lessons, my truths, the ins and outs of life, but in a different manner. It's not going to be like these lives anymore. So that is definitely something that I want you to be aware of and to know, because the evolution of me is going to be, I don't even know. I can't plan it, right? It is whatever my path is meant to be, it will be that. And I'm just really learning and trying to really follow that and tune into those nudges that I feel and follow my sacral like unapologetically. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it doesn't feel, if it feels right, even if it doesn't, even if my mind thinks that it's not the best decision for me, if I feel a full body yes, then I'm going to go for it. And it's like breadcrumbs, where once I take a step, I will be shown the next step and the next and the next. So I really am working on cultivating that trust within myself, as well as my trust with my relationship with God and the universe, so that I am not living and walking on this journey alone. I'm actually living and walking alongside, God, the universe, and his plan for me. And yeah, I just have that trust there, and that gives me so much peace that how I'm running my business, how I'm doing life, how I'm showing up is in fullest alignment with my purpose. So yeah, I know it's for me, it is a little bit bittersweet, because I feel kind of like I've graduated, like I've graduated like these Facebook Lives daily Facebook lives, and I'm going to go on and do, just different things. Not that they're bigger or better. It's more in alignment with where I am going and how my energy is and how I want to show up. And I am in my follicular phase right now. So if you have not been following me, I have been talking about the 4 cycles of the menstrual cycle that women or people who are on a menstrual cycle have. And the follicular phase is the phase where I'm, really coming out of my hibernation and like planning some things. So I am planning to do a few things. Today is Monday, so my week officially starts tomorrow. So I think once tomorrow comes around and Robert goes to work, I am going to plan some stuff. I don't exactly know what it is yet, but I'm definitely going to be sharing it on here. So if you, just tune back in, check back in, then you will absolutely be able to see what it is. But yeah, I wanted to come here for the last day and just share my gratitude, just share my thoughts on how it has been and a few things that I have learned along the way as during these 90 days, really. And yeah, so if you are just joining me for the first time, you can always go back and watch the other videos that I did. Facebook is now deleting the videos after 30 days, so you will only be able to watch the previous 29 days, I guess. But I have been uploading them onto my YouTube channel, so if you want to go watch the videos from day 1, then they are all on my YouTube channel, and I have that link. Let me see. I should have that link, yes, on my link tree, which is in my profile. So find that link, click on it. If you can't find it, just send me a message and I will send you that link to the playlist so you can watch all 90 videos, right? So you don't miss a day. What else? Yeah, so, oh yeah, and I think I will be transferring these lives and converting them into audio. So I will have a separate podcast for my 90-day lives challenge. I guess that's how it's gonna call it now. But my live series will be on a separate podcast altogether. I guess I was contemplating between putting it with my current podcast or having it be a standalone, but I think it's better for it to be a standalone, so that's all that podcast is about, is all my lives from 2025 for the first 3 months. But yeah, so I have just been loving showing up, and so now I remember where I was going. I was saying, like, if you're here for the first time, then you can go back and watch the other 89 videos. But if you are returning, then I just want to share, and I just want to say thank you for tuning into however many videos you have tuned into. I just love being able to see that you're popping on or you're commenting. And oh, hi Elaine, I have not seen you in a while. Oh, yeah, today's actually, my last daily live. So yeah, but yeah, so if you have been watching me all these 90 days, then you are amazing. Thank you so much. And seriously, like, other than my fiance Robert, if you have been watching these lives, you are actually the person who knows me probably the best after my partner, because I share so much, I share so openly, and I love taking people through my process, through life, my process of lifing, right? As a 2-4 manifesting generator, if you are into human design. If not, that's fine too. You don't need to be in human design or understand human design to really connect to what I am talking and speaking about, because, I speak from a place of just the daily things that we go through as humans, and especially, like, as an entrepreneur, an online business person, it is the ups and downs of life, and just being able to watch somebody, listen to somebody, and be in community with someone who's going through the same thing is priceless. It's priceless, because in this world, we can definitely feel alone if we don't have other people around us or within our awareness, right, in our community that is going through the same stuff. You know, we can definitely feel lonely. So I say that because that's been my experience. And so yeah, I want to extend that gratitude out to you and just let you know that for sure I do not take for granted your viewing, your time, your energy that you spend listening and really learning and or just really enjoying my lives. I am so grateful for that. And yeah, so I wanted to share that. And then moving on to the lessons. Wow, there's so many lessons. Like, I did not write this on, like, you know, my notes or anything, but some of the lessons that I learned from doing these lives is that I guess the biggest one is that I can commit to showing up every single day if I have a strong enough reason why. And I've always like doubted that because I'm like, ever since I quit teaching and I started my online business and I started really diving deep into my inner world and self-discovery, I just felt like, you know, I just really wanted to be more in my feminine, which is like, I do whatever I want, whenever I want, right? Being in the flow of things without any masculine structure, just because I have been in my masculine and having so much structure my whole life that I swung to the opposite end of just being very feminine. So it was hard. It was hard for me to commit to something because I felt like I haven't fully healed the things I had around being in my masculine. So the thought of having to show up, quote unquote, having to show up every day felt like restrictive for me. And that was why for like a year and a half, I didn't do the lives because I was like, I am not ready for that. I don't need any of that right now. I need to be in my feminine and do whatever I want, whenever I wanted. But this year was it. I was like, no, I'm going to do that. I'm going to challenge myself. And that was the thing, that challenge was what really made me excited, right? Lit up my sacral because I was like, that is something exciting for me to show up, to really challenge myself, to just show up for myself, right? Show up for my, at first I was like trying to show up for my business, but then like, I think like a month into it, I was like, no, like I'm going to show up, and commit to and devote to my sacral. You know, if you watched my lives, there was a whole live where I did all around like devotion and what we are devoted to. And, you know, moving forward, like I am devoting to my sacral urges, my gut feeling. And that's really how I'm going to lead life, lead my passion project, lead my business. And so, yeah, so the biggest thing is like, I learned that, yeah, I can trust myself. I can rely on myself. So I think doing this 365 days live challenge definitely built that trust from the inside out for me to be like, I got this, you know, I got this. So that's such a big piece for me, for sure. Also, just seeing the evolution of how I showed up and the different energies that I bring, like, it is really surprising to me because, you know, I film myself, right? Like, I'm on camera, and then there are some days where I'm super excited, I'm outside, I'm walking in nature and all that stuff, and there are some days where I'm like super tired at the end of the night, and I'm just like, y'all, like, I'm tired, you know, I'm talking more soft. And it just really showed me like the beautiful evolution and change and ups and downs that I go through, and how I'm, you know, like, I know this, that I am a multidimensional being, but just being able to actually have physical evidence, right? Like our human minds, physical evidence that I can see that like on screen, like showing up some days, like I think it was like day 2 or 3 where I was actually like super depressed and super sad, and I just didn't want to go on live, but I went live, you know? So just seeing the evolution, seeing like myself throughout the whole time, it really allowed me to have so much compassion and so much like not pride, but I was so proud of myself for all that, and seeing how seeing the growth that there was a little Facebook, when I talk with my hands, it actually shows so much little things, emojis. But anyway, where was I at? Yeah, so it showed so much of like what I've learned and how I've grown, and it's just like watching like a show of yourself, like, I know, like, as a Gemini, if you're into astrology, you might know this. Like, I don't know a lot about astrology, but as a Gemini, like, it's all about like learning about yourself first and foremost, right? And in human design, I do have some individual energy, just individual, tribal, and collective energy. But when I do have, a good amount of individual energy too. But the purpose for individual energy isn't for selfish reasons. The purpose in human design, the way we see it, is that your individual energy is for you to be empowered in yourself so that you can shine out and give other people permission, right? They don't really need my permission, but give other people permission by my example, my way of being, my way of showing up. And so I, like, as I watch these lives, sometimes I don't like necessarily rewatch them on purpose. It's when I download them to upload onto YouTube that like I, click on them and I listen to myself a little bit, that I see, and it is like I said, like, so my whole point is that it's like a movie. Like, I'm watching a movie of my growth and my evolution. And, I'm always like that. I love that, because I realize that that's something that I like to do. Is like the reason why I started my Instagram like 3 years ago was because I wanted to document my burnout journey and my self-discovery, self-love journey. And that's how that started. And I've only been on Facebook really a lot more this year. And I actually, like, I use both, but like I kind of took a step back from Instagram and did my 365 days live on Facebook. But I'm actually feeling the pull to go back to Instagram. And, it's just like, okay, there can be some like self-judgment there of like, why am I going back and forth so much? But, I want to be an example for you that it's okay. It's okay to be like, okay, I'm gonna be on Instagram, and then all of a sudden, like, the energy's not there anymore, and then I'm gonna go into Facebook, and like I've done Facebook for 90 days straight, and then okay, well, the energy, I feel like I'm like a little bee, right? I'm like, okay, buzzing over here, and I'm like bored. In a sense, my sacral's like not lit up there anymore, and so I'm gonna go back to Instagram and see and use my energy there until, or even go back and forth, right? It doesn't have to be only on one. But where was I going with that? But yeah, again, the evolution of this journey. Some of the things that I've learned, I think for me, especially in human design, like talking human design language here, I have a split definition, so I do a lot better. I understand things and process things better when I actually talk about it with someone, whether you're on here live with me or whether it's just like, yeah, I know you're going to be watching this, so I'm processing and talking and sharing and teaching out loud. That just helps me. I learn so much as I'm sharing with you, and I just think that's so amazing. And that's why I love one-on-one work, because that's where I thrive. I thrive with one other person, and I struggle a little bit more when it's more than one person and I'm trying to balance all the energies coming from different people. It's a lot, it's not as ideal for me. Then I really like one-on-one. So yeah, so just the sheer fact that I have learned so much from just talking and sharing out loud is super amazing. So that's another thing that I was like, oh, that's super cool. Yeah, and like on my lives, like I don't think I had notes for any of them. Maybe one. I think I had notes for like one of them, just to like keep myself, on track. But I just feel like since every live was so different, every live was like really, really raw in terms of like what I was going through during that time, that, I just think that like if I were to say one thing that I learned, my lessons from doing this live is just that I have really learned to allow my energy, allow myself to show up, allow myself to be happy, allow myself to be sad, allow myself to really be raw and authentic with my self-expression and not judge myself for that, and share those truths, share the stories. And I'm just so grateful that like there's platforms these days where, you know, like I can speak to you and you can hear me even though we're not, you know, you may be, you know, in a different country and different continent even, and that you can still see me and you know, listen to me and all this stuff. So I just, you know, I'm so grateful for that. And you know, this live really, this challenge really taught me and allowed me to really see myself in so many dimensions and to show up for myself and to really tune into what is important to me and what I want to focus on. Yeah, so I think the overall, you know, all the themes of the life challenge that is like, I just gave me such a deeper understanding of myself, and that is also in a return in return is helpful for you, right? And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the lives, was that so you can get to know me and see if, you know, like if I can help you out, if any of the things that I share is helpful. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I just want to share love, knowledge, wisdom, lived embodied wisdom that I have experienced, and share it with you so that maybe you can use that piece of wisdom, piece of knowledge in your life in the future, in future situations. Or maybe you can learn from me and quantum leap and not have to go through what I went through and just be like, oh, well, I learned from you, you know, this time she did that and it didn't turn out so well, so maybe I should not do that, you know, like whatever the case is. It's just so, it's nice to be able, I'm getting distracted because I'm getting distracted because of the little things that I see on the screen. What was I saying? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure if I watch back, I will remember what I was talking about. But I like go from one thing to another. Great. Anyway, let's just continue. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I was just saying that like no. I thought I had it. Okay. Well, if you have any questions for me, do let me know. Or like if you are here live, maybe you can remind me what I was talking about. But let me just continue. So yeah, I just feel like learning and showing up. Oh yeah, showing up helps you get to know me. Yes, that's what I was saying. Showing up helps not only I understand myself on such a deeper level, but then you get to know me, understand me, see what my values are, see what I like, see what I know, how to do, what to share, see what I stand for, right? And then really from that place, decide for yourself if you want support, if you want to continue to be in my world, if you want to, you know, in the future hire me for coaching or mentoring or human design reading. You know, like I think that is a big part. Is like, you know, like when you're running an online business and you're meeting so many people, so many coaches, you know, you don't really know if they are for you. But if I have these lives for you, then you really get to know my energy, how I speak, how I teach, how I coach. Not really how I coach, but you know, like just like my morals, my values, my, you know, the way I do things, the way I talk even, you know. And so I just feel like it's such an authentic way to get to know someone and get a sneak peek into their life and their struggles. And you know, like I'm a life coach, but I'm not perfect. I do not have my life perfect. And I know a lot of people, coaches, like even when I was starting coaching, I was like, who am I to coach other people about their life when my life isn't perfect? But that is not the point, right? Because look, like a perfect example is like, doctors aren't doctors because they are in perfect health, right? A lot of times actually doctors are pretty unhealthy, or like maybe they're smoking or whatnot, right? I just say that because that's an example that I've seen. I'm not saying all doctors smoke or all doctors are not healthy, but it's just an example of like, just because you work in a profession doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. And so I definitely like used to have that fear of like, I needed my life to be perfect, or else, you know, my clients won't want to work with me. But that's the point though. If you are able to see how I navigate through my life, through the hardships, through the ups and the downs, then I can help you while you're going through it, right? But if my life is perfect and I never have to worry about anything and it's all rainbows and butterflies all the time, then when you have a problem, well, I can't help you because I don't have problems, right? So when we think about it that way, it's like, oh, of course, I'm not going to put myself on a pedestal so you like look up to me because I never make mistakes, right? It's because I make mistakes and I try things and I go for it that you will want to learn from me because I have led myself through it and I am still here, right? So that is a very big piece that I, you know, that this live like helped me understand and myself deeper, because I'm like actually having to express myself out to you. But then, you know, a nice little side benefit of that is that you also get to learn from me, about me, I mean, in a very authentic way as well. Not very curated. I'm not a very curated person. Like, even when I do my future programs or coaching or stuff like that, like as a line 2 in human design, like I say that, like, but it doesn't, you don't have to be a line 2 to do this, to like this, but like, I like things simple. I like if anything gets a little bit too complicated for me, I lose interest. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. No, you know, my sacral is just like shuts down because I don't like complicated things. And so that's why, like, when you work with me, like, there's usually just one link, one page, like everything's like real simple because I like simple, you know. And so if you are a simple person, then maybe, you know, like we would work well together. But if you like, you know, more complicated things and like pages and pages of details on like what the offer entails and all that stuff, then like maybe we're not a good fit for I'm not a good fit for you right now, you know? So I don't know why I went that direction, but anyway. Yeah, so I guess listening to me all this time, you probably be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like she learned a lot about herself. And which is true. So if you ever do want to, you know, learn about yourself and just kind of have like a mini diary of, you know, like understanding yourself and just talking out loud, like you don't even have to do Facebook Lives. You can just do like videos on your phone, voice notes on your phone, right? Whatever works for you. And that just shows like, also like, that's how I work as a coach. You know, I don't do like one size fits all. I'm always like, well, it depends on your situation, right? Well, it depends on how you act, you know, how you view this, how you view that. And that is why coaching is so nuanced to the person that it's like, sometimes it's almost hard to speak to only one person because one person is so different than the next person, right? So it's hard to speak about one concept and have it apply exactly the same way to every single person. And of course, that's when one-on-one work comes into play, and that's where I get the most excited because I love the details. I have the gate of details in my human design, and I just like, I don't remember exactly what placement it's in, but like I love details. And I think that's also what makes me a really good coach is I get into the details. I get into underneath of it all, and allow you to really dive deeper and dig deeper into like, okay, exactly what does that mean? How do I see that playing out? And why does that bother me, right? So, I don't know. I guess it's because this live is my last live that I'm like trying to see if there's anything else I want to share. But anyway, it won't be my last one, I promise. I will be going back to Instagram and sharing a little bit more there, but I cross post onto Facebook, so you will see some of the things that I post over there on here as well. The only thing that you won't see are my Instagram lives. So if I do Instagram lives, it will be over on my Instagram at I am Nuvang. So you can also find me there as well. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, and I have just learned so much on this journey, and I will look back at this version of me and thank her for being brave, for committing and devoting herself to her business and her sacral and her life of evolution and growth. And you know, I just know that I'll look back and I'll be really proud of myself, you know, for doing what I have done and continue to follow the nudges and the sacral responses and the my intuition. So yeah, this will not be the end. This will not be, you know, the last time you hear from me, but I just want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, about any offers, human design related, life coaching related, mindset transformation, whatever it is, mentoring, coaching, send me a message and I will get back to you. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, your night, wherever you are. And leave a comment in the leave a comment in the comment section. Say hello. And yeah, thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you very soon. Next time I'm on here, and I'll probably be, you know, on here tomorrow or like the day after. Who knows? All right. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Facebook Live challenge. This is the last day. Yes, so very bittersweet, but I will no longer be saying, hello, Facebook Live. Welcome to 365 Days Live with Nu. But I've done that for the past 90 days. So it's just like a huge milestone I'm very proud of. Anyway, enough of the celebration. I will see you next time. All right. Bye.